On Module 3, in Stage Management, our text this week, we're going to be reading about company rules. Scheduling company rules is actually the chapter's title. One of the most interesting things in this chapter deals with the call board and dissemination of information. So, the call board chapter is mentioned and it gives examples. I want to take that a step further. I'd like to go ahead and go over what materials we may need, because you want a board that's interesting to your constituents, meaning your cast, sometimes your production team. It really depends on who's going to be in the room on a daily basis. You need to have clear contact information for all your cast, production team, anybody that someone may need to contact, right? And prominent, right? So what is a way that you might be able to do that? Well, the way that you could potentially do that is by the use of construction paper, right? So you may say that anything is important gets bounded in orange, or in another color, maybe this bright red, right? Medical information might be in blue. You have all sorts of different information. Brown might be for union documentary. We'll also talk about this in class as well. This piece of construction paper, this pad of 40 sheets, which would last for multiple productions, cost less than $4. Other things. Remember how I just mentioned about keeping the board interesting, right? So I know that this looks a little school teacher-ish, but having colored borders especially makes a difference when you're doing multiple productions at a time, which allows you to have the yellow production you know is Oklahoma, and the green is West Side Story, right? So you could potentially split the call board, right? But bordering your call board just takes an extra few minutes, but it really shows you care. And it really opens you up to the cast to be able to say, look, I take my time, expect you to take time in yours. There are many other things that you can use on a call board. I have a couple of other things here that I want to show you. Right, so at Staples, which is our local, just right down the street, office supply store, they sell these wonderful things called Scotch Expressions masking tapes. They come in multiple colors. This one happens to be green. This one's bright yellow. They come in a bunch of different colors. I took a picture of the display, which I'm going to put right. Other things that I saw was this beautiful diamond-shaped paper, right? So you may be able to outline important information. Or perhaps you even have a small, almost what I would call a mini call board in your rehearsal room, right? So you may not want to use the large call board for something like sign-ins, right? You may want to use a smaller board. That would be an excellent use of these colored tapes. Now, other materials that you may find useful. Multicolor Sharpies, right? You may want to provide a different color Sharpie for each day of the week for sign-ins, so that you can have people sure that they're signing in the right day and the right color. Again, that's your choice. You could have simply a pencil as well. One of my favorite things is to use these little fine tip expo markers, right? And these are neat because, I don't know if you can see that, but they are magnetic, but they also have a little eraser. So on the back side right here, they have a little eraser. It's wonderful. And it's super easy to use, and there's another little eraser here. Well, you say, well, but my call board isn't dry. Well, Scotch also makes this wonderful dry erase tape. This dry erase tape is about the width of duct tape and can easily be put on gaffer's tape, or if you've covered the back of your board, can just be put directly on there. But it allows you to have room saying dance call 7 p.m. or allows you to quickly update something when you may not have time to go print out a full professional board or a full professional sheet. Another option, if you don't like to use that, and you prefer something that would still allow you to switch something out, are these wonderful Deflecto. Deflecto is the brand name. This is actually a cubicle name plaque, but it comes with all sorts of mounting hardware, including magnetic, sticky sponge mount, which is very much like a Scotch 77 backing. It has little temporary mounts, which would be perfect for like a rehearsal room door, which is actually exactly how I use this. When I'm running rehearsals, especially in facilities that have multiple going on, so if I'm working in like a new 42nd Street studio type format or anything like that, I'm going to immediately put this on the door, and it's going to say the company name, and then what it has this slide-in pouch. You can face it, so I can just slide in when I get in the morning, and it says, you know, the Shinko Company presents The Lion King, and it says that we're doing choreography rehearsal from 2 to 5, right? Very simple, very easy to use, but this could also be used on a call board. There's many, many different ways that you can use these materials. I know this seems a little strange, is a will return clock, right? This side is basically useless to you, but a will return clock, you would have literally, and then the location, and then a little pin, which would hold this, so that when you're not in, say you're on lunch or something like that, it says that you'll return at a certain time, and you would set the hands to say, I'm going to return at whatever time. In this case, we've set it to 9 o'clock. So this is an option. Again, the backside is not very useful. The other thing that's useful for labeling rooms, remember how I told you that there's multiple options? Some people don't like these little things because it requires you to cut paper, things like that. So if you decided you were going to use something like cardstock or potentially like a laminated bond, you could easily use these. Most of the doors in Rubush, which allows you to easily use these. They've got a big, large magnet, right? You can see in comparison to my hand, they're quite large. You get 3 to a package for less than $4. So this allows you to put on the door saying what the rehearsal is going to be and what's going to be happening at that time. So I'm also going to insert some materials here. I also took images of this for your reference. Personal organization materials. As far as personal materials go and personal organization goes, you may wish to use a notebook system. This is an example of the ARC system by Staples. There are many different types of accessories to go with this system. Another system that's very popular is the digital Moleskine system, which works with specialized Moleskine documents and document folders. There's also a wonderful iPhone and Android app that allow you to continue to look and review your notes in the order in which you wrote them. Some materials also allow you to record audio, which could be invaluable when taking blocking. Consider, is it worth the cost to you? Some of the Moleskine systems cost upwards of $200. It's a personal decision, but one you should carefully consider. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it, and I really can't wait to see you all in class this week. Thank you, and see you soon.